I'm going to do one more of these slides so we're a little bit ahead for tomorrow. So just reminders on the sessions in general from level 1 and level 2 is a lot of what Gilles did today, waiting. He did great eye contact, like really good. Even if you're looking at a blank screen, keep looking at it because the eye contact matters. Not provoking the psychotic insight. Always go back to curiosity and hypnotic fascination as your key tool, as your base tool. If you forget the categories, if you get lost in conversation, you're confused, you feel pressure, forget everything else and just go back to this. Always be looking at the answer. Don't be looking at the question. Always have your eye towards the UM. If you want to get more specific with that, ask yourself, which category is this UM? Always ask the questions nobody else will ask. Be cool, be casual, be confident. The ratification of this whole style, which is, by the way, like this group of girls, this is what they're doing. They're ratifying life to each other. That's what team sports are about. That's what being in a posse is about, is self-ratification and ratification of each other. So it's detaching from your role and just becoming human again. Extremely important. That's what Gilles was demonstrating to us in that really good demo. Non-judgment, always have the openness, always have the ability to let the client say whatever they need to say. If they want to support Donald Trump, if they want to support the, rightist extremist governments, that's fine. They can do that. That's not the reason that you're sitting with them. So let them be who they are, even if you don't like it, even if you don't agree. Always extend unconscious moments. You guys know how to do that. Eye contact, voice, pausing, pressure, slowing down. Extending the unconscious moments with motivation cycles. So this is what we really added today was what kind of question cycle will be the most specific for what was just said. So it's not enough now just to say, oh, it was an unconscious answer. Like, well, get more specific than that. What am I actually fascinated about inside of that unconsciousness? We used some Columbo approach today. Oh, clarify that for me. What did you mean by that? I didn't understand that. And then I also added some hypnotic monologue, which was like, well, when this happens, what is going to occur? At the very end, did you see the hypnotic monologue when I said something like, oh, and so then everyone would come into alignment and that would be great. It was just me reconfirming for her, which she had already told me was her resource. I don't even remember, but she added something at the end and I said, oh, that could also come into alignment then. So that was just me putting in some hypnotic monologue based on her suggestions to me. So how do you know if you use motivation, untie a knot, or ETM?
The client will tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's based on the language or how they answer the previous question.
Exactly. And it's not even always based on their language. It can be just based on the feeling.
Yeah, if you notice that they're in an unconscious moment, then you could do more of that ETM or whatever it may be.
Is it enough for you to just say, well, it's an unconscious moment and that's that?
No, you want to pitch a tent.
Pardon?
No, you want to pitch a tent there.
That's right. You want to pitch it, but you want to know where to pitch it too, right?
Yeah.
So you want to pitch it like in the right neighborhood, so to speak, as I've called them.
Mhm.
What do you do if the clients jump from one to another? What if they're like, oh, here's a knot, and here's something that would motivate me, and here's a feeling that I'm having? What do you do if it's like, oh, it seems like all of the options are available?
It
Just
would
follow
seem
them.
based on today that you would go more towards motivation.
Okay, good answer. Jody, what were you gonna say?
Just follow them because they're not going to answer it all at the same time.
Exactly. That's right. It's both of what you just said. I always would, if I'm offered motivation, I will always take it because it's like a free ticket. I would always rather go that way if the client is offering it. Then comes what Jody said, which is it's one by one. If it's one ETM and then one not untied and then one motivational, those can all be in a row. And it could also be a motivational question, and then a untying knot question, and then a follow-up to that, and then go back to, well, how do you feel about your motivation? It can be in any order. That's why this really truly is a menu option now. Whereas before it was like, here, you have to pick from this selected, few things. Now it's more like, I want some of this with some of this with some of this. And that's why no two sessions will ever be the same, and no two hypnotists will ever do the same thing. And that does not matter. That's why you're very important in this industry, because it's just a skill that everybody needs to execute. It doesn't really matter if you're good at it, so to speak.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to ask too is if you're in the role that Jody talked about, which is the 3-person thing,
Yeah.
because it seemed like, I think, that we did 2 ETMs today, but for the life of me, I can't remember how that went about or how that occurred. Like if you were to say, so how do you get into an ETM? Or how do you do that technique or whatever, however it's said? I have no idea. I don't remember what I did.
That's great, Jill. I'm glad you're asking, because you're now on the right journey. Because I remember when I was at your stage, I felt the same way. I was like, I don't even know what to do at this ETM stage. Like, what is that? And so the answer is just follow it. An ETM is the same as saying the body keeps the score, right? So
Okay.
so if the body is keeping the score, then it's just another unconscious moment, but through a material expression. So like if you're of the opinion, as I am, that there is no difference between mind and body, it's all one thing, then ETM is just like questioning the body. So like I have a feeling in my chest here is the same as saying I'm afraid, but it's a different language.
Okay.
So all we need to do is say, oh, tell me more about that. Tell me how it feels to you. And by the way, one thing we could have done with Jody there was circle back to it after and ask her what had happened with those feelings. Did they grow? The joy one, did it get bigger? We didn't go back to that, but I could have if it were a real session.
Yeah, like that pain throbbing in the thing in the throat.
Exactly. That's right. I would have liked to have checked back on that. Oh yeah, which reminds me, and now I really will stop
My ear still
talking.
hurts.
Pardon?
My ear still hurts, but I think it's from the headphone.
Okay. I'd like to check in on that. But so the way I organized that demo was as follows. I said to Gilles, just read off the page. Don't care about her, right? And that is how he started. He just started by reading the page. But then what happened as it got further and further? Were you able to just keep reading the words off the page?
No, again, because there's time distortion, I know I was in trance with her.
Exactly. First of all, the time distortion. Second of all, the trance starts to take over the hypnotist. So you stop being able to just ask canned questions. Third of all, you start to get involved and interested in what's going on. So the instructions of, well, don't care about the client, just ask any question is cool because it shows you that you will get to the subconscious no matter if you care or are invested or not. But it also shows you that you can't really do hypnosis without allowing hypnosis to enter, right? So it's not enough to say, oh, I can detach from the clients and read the questions. Yes, that will give you insight into their subconscious, but it will not carry you through to solving the problem.
Mhm.
The only way to carry through to solving the problem is with that rapport that Gilles got into as he relaxed. That's why to do fast hypnosis and to get it done in one session is reliant 100% on motivation, because that connection style and that communication style does not exist in 101. Because nobody's going to end up like fully trusting you if all you do is interrogate them.
Mhm.
So to create the speed and to create the efficiency and to create the good feeling with it, we have to do it this way. So what I'm trying to summarize is that demo, aside from many things which it showed very beautifully, it also shows that canned reading doesn't work. Canned reading does work in terms of getting unconscious moments, but not in terms of creating momentum towards problem solving. So you can use motivation and you can use detachment from the client to create that instinct, but then you're going to have to bring back your hypnotic fascination. If you don't have hypnotic fascination, you're not going to become the best in the industry. So the questions are just training wheels. If you drop the question list and just do hypnotic fascination, that's actually the MOS of the MOS of the MOS. But that's something to practice. I'm just getting to it now, like after 6 years. Okay, is that enough? I was thinking of
My head's
doing
gonna
2 demos
explode.
today. Pardon?
My head's gonna explode.
Okay, good. I was going to try to do 2 demos today, but it's too many. Like I said, I wanted to go slower today and talk more about the actual mechanics of it. So I guess we won't do another demo because you're probably all tired right now, and there's not that many of you either. But we'll do another one tomorrow, which is going to be both level 1 and level 2. It's the weekend, so maybe we can fit in both if we have more people on the screen. Before we leave for today, any questions on anything we did today, on the demos, on the handouts? You're going to feel funny again. It's the usual thing. Do you guys feel the hypnosis? Do you feel the difference between the hypnosis and the part before the hypnosis?
Yeah.
That's an important thing to pay attention to. I feel it for sure. So notice the feeling of the hypnosis, enjoy it, capitalize on it, get some sleep. You might feel a little weird, confused, distracted. If you can't remember what we did today, that's part of it because it was kind of far afield to tell you to do things all different than I told you the first time. So don't freak out about that. Just let it settle. As you live with it, you'll start to feel like, oh yeah, now it's all coming together. So don't have a judgment of it. Just let it be. I probably won't answer you tonight. I'm gonna work on tomorrow and in the next day, but if you need anything, just reach out to me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Ask questions in the group. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Anything else? Anybody want to ask me anything about business, life before I sign off?
No, I'm just curious to ask Jodie how she's feeling. And there was one question, when you were talking about going into threes and being the observer, I don't know, it was an ego, but the question I wanted to circle back on and was ask her, do you feel you've got out of your own way?
Do I feel I've got out of my own way? Yeah, I think so. Because I'm wanting to do the 3-person, and I hate doing that stuff.
No, I know you were saying that was like one of your problems, where you felt I just need to get out of my own way.
Hmm.
And that was just one of the
Yeah,
questions. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. After the session, or, how do you
yeah.
feel?
I feel fuzzy.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the dog for a walk in the rain because it's perfect. Hmm.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
by the way, Jill, that's something you can add. I would recommend that you add to your sessions, which is a little chat about processing. So like, so what are you going to do? Oh, you did ask her something like, what are you going to do next? And she gave you an answer. But I would add to that, you might feel a little up and down. You might feel a little
Okay.
funny. You might feel extra tired. If your emotions come up, that's normal. Because if you don't give them that little processing chat, then the next thing you know, they hang up and they feel sadness that you just hung up, or they feel, oh my God, I can't do it without her. And they're like, oh my God, I'm having a reaction. But if you just told them, hey, you're going to feel up and down and that's okay, just observe it, don't get involved, then they'll think to themselves, oh, she just told me that. That's okay. So it's really important to just give people that reminder of hypnosis is weird and it will give you some, up and down experiences, and let that happen. And then I just tell them as the end of that demarcation thing or of that tasking thing is reach out to me if you need me. If you have any questions, of course, I'd love to hear about how well this goes when you get to your thing. Tell me about the party that you went to, whatever. But I'm not going to reach out to you. That's my protocol. So you're welcome to report back to me. I'd love to hear about it. Go ahead and tell me as soon as, something cool happens, but I won't reach out to you.